All right, guys. Good morning. Happy Fire Friday. It is April 25th. Beautiful spring day. And we are excited that you're here with us talking about agent attraction. Fire Friday. For all of you that are new or maybe watching this recorded later, FYR stands for Fund Your Reason. And that's what we're all about. We're all about helping agents build great lives, build big lives, achieve the things that they want to achieve in and out of real estate on the EXP platform. So we're really excited that you all are here. And we've got something a little bit different and exciting for you guys. We talk about all of the different ways to connect with agents. And you have all your different styles, building your real estate sales business. Some people do marketing, some people do prospecting, some people do it's all by referral only. Some people do client parties, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? There's a million different ways to go generate leads, and hopefully you settle in and find one that really works well for you, for your style, for your experience level, skill sets, and that sort of thing. And so the same holds true for agent attraction. There are lots of different ways to do it, but one of the things I think we all know should be at least a part of your repertoire, right, is to have some kind of social media presence. It really helps. You're going to reach a lot more people that way. And there are different ways to use it. It still might be just with your sphere and the people that you know and all of those things. And that's fine. You may find ways to have it reach people you don't know for your intended audience. And there are ways to do that. So as we start looking at some other ways to do this, we recently had Kristine Dunn, who came back to EXP, and she was here. She was here before, and while she was here, she added 12 agents to her front line, and then helped her group grow from there. But she did it all organically, right? Did it all. It was through relationships and conversations and that sort of thing. She's been in the business. She's been in sales. She's been a top producing agent. She's been doing this since 2011, I believe, right? So, and then Kristine started coaching and mentoring agents back in 2018, and she's been doing that as a mentor and coach and helping people go through. So, in her own business, being a top selling agent, and then helping other people establish her business, she's kind of what you want to do is you want to learn from people who have been there and who have kind of seen it and have some of the battle wounds. And then, some of the stuff that maybe they didn't do, but people that they've worked with and they've seen things that work and don't work. And those are the kind of people that I like to learn from. I also know that she's got a great social media presence. She does all kinds of fun stuff, and I've seen her be super creative with creating reels and posts. And she's very consistent with her posts. If you don't see her telling you to have your water first every morning, you're not on social media. So if you don't know her dog and you haven't seen her husband, her out on a boat, then are you even on social media? So that's super cool. So when we were looking at that, I think one of the things, like for me, is getting more consistent in some of my platform. And as you guys, most of I have two daughters that are college aged, and they're not using it for business; they're using it for fun. But they would always laugh at my reels and critique them, and like, why did you pick that music? And why didn't you do this? And and like, and so they would all, they would, they'd give you some credit. Like, I hate, considering you did a really crappy reel, you got 400 views. That's pretty good, right? And they said, let us help you with some things. And so we went through a little period of time where I said, okay, let's play around with it. And I did basically what I would normally do, same content, same everything else, but with a few tweaks, right? A little bit different, changing some stuff and doing whatever. And, those are the ones, if you go onto my social medias, those are the ones that have several thousand views. And it's the same, it's the same thing that I would have, same content, right? It was just a couple of things that were tweaked differently. And so all of those people that saw it, so many of them were not people that I'm connected with. Right. They're not people that are following me. It got legs and got seen by other people, which is what you want. So we asked Kristine to talk to us today about reels, and about, what are some of those things, and then walk through, how to create one. So we're actually going to like go through the mechanics of putting that. So let me change the view on here. We'll do this and this. Oh, hold on.
Ooh.
Hey.
Hey guys. Good
Woo!
morning.
There we go. All right, now we're good to go. Awesome. So, so we're going to go through this. So, Kristine, first of all, thank you so much for being willing to hop on. We kind of like threw it at you last minute and said, "Hey, can we talk about reels?" And you were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
So, one of the things we've talked about is we want to go in and give some practical stuff on this, and then we're going to go through and do some more on social media. And Kristine's going to help, give us some practical stuff to just to go through to make social media a strong part of what you do. And obviously, everything applies to both attraction and sales. So all
Yes, yes, always. I think that's like kind of the fun part about it, right? Is once you kind of get into a groove and you figure out what is your flavor and like how you're going to do things and how to actually do it most efficiently, then I think you'll find yourself doing it more than you are now, and actually having fun with it. And I think that's the reality is social media is supposed to be social. So if you're just posting and ghosting, that's why you're not getting anybody interacting on your posts because you're not interacting on anyone else's posts, right? So I think the first thing is to realize that social media is literally called social media. And if you want to see engagement and interaction on your posts, then you need to be engaging and interacting on other posts. I think that we can all like take a second and realize like that person that is always commenting or liking your stuff, don't you, when you see their stuff, immediately want to reciprocate that?
Yep.
Because it's like, man, they're always interacting on my stuff. Oh, I finally get to interact on theirs, right? Now, that's not something you can do with everybody because not everybody posts. Some people just interact, but they don't ever post anything.
Hmm.
And that's okay too. Like, we're not here to shame anybody, right? But let's see if we can find different ways to add in using things like reels and other things. And why reels, right? Like, what's the difference between a post, a reel, a story? Do you guys know the difference between these? I don't want to share something you already know, but I also want to make sure that we understand the difference of them.
Yeah, let's lay it out. We don't have to go into too much detail, but let's go
Yeah.
through it because I mean, the those platforms have created those different things for a reason. So why?
Right. So it started with actually I think it started with was it so now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if it was TikTok or Instagram, but they both are short form videos, right? And so the idea is that now, if you noticed, Facebook also has their version of a reel, and then YouTube is prioritizing their version of a reel, which is also
Mhm.
I think they call it a short, YouTube
Yeah.
Shorts,
Yep.
right? And so with that, YouTube's number one focus, if you're trying to grow a YouTube channel right now, you should be putting out shorts, which is the same as a reel, which is the same as a TikTok. It's short-term video. That's all it is. But on average on Instagram, your reels are going to get two times more like visual, like they're going to put it into two times more people are going to see it than your traditional post. And a reel is just a short-term video, and it's on your storefront, which I'll show you what that is, or your homepage, right? And then your stories are going to be, and those, and your reels should be on one of your pillars. So you should have anywhere from 3 to 5 brand pillars. If you haven't thought about those, that's something, that we can break down in another time. But you should have like 3 to 5 pillars. And then anything that you post, whether it's a post, a carousel, which is multiple, so you have a static post, you have a carousel, which is multiple static posts, right, in one that you can scroll through, which gets about 1.36 more views than a regular static post that's just one picture. And then you have reels, okay? And then you can go live and post your live as a video. So there's lots of different things that you can do here, but all that to say is everything should always be tying back to one of your 5 pillars.
Mm.
Right. And so if it's age and attraction, the one that we're focusing on, then we want to make sure that no matter what it is, even if we're not even talking about age and attraction in the video, that somewhere in the post or in the caption that we're tying it back to that. And if you think about it, everything can always be related back to something else. It's just we have to be a little bit more intentional. And I'm going to give you a little trick on how to do that at the end.
Awesome.
Um, yeah.
Cool. So, guys, take note of that, right? You've got the difference in visibility right? So certain things you want to do, and you know, you want your socials to have a blend of all of these different content types, right? But certain types are going to get, I mean, a lot of the places where you're seeing them all the time, if you go to their page, some of them are literally 100% reels, right? They
Yeah.
only do reels. Some of them have a few other, there's a couple of where they'll do some carousels and some other things blended in, but they're 90% reels. So, you know, the ones that are getting the most visibility are utilizing the tools that get seen the most. And I love, by the way, posting and ghosting. I always say, right? I always want to say you want to be more interested than interesting, right? Because you know you want to be commenting on people's stuff and liking their stuff and everything else and building that relationship. Otherwise, you're the person at the party who goes around and talks about yourself the entire night and walks out of there and they were like, oh my gosh, they wouldn't stop talking about themselves, right? But if you go around the party and you go, oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. How are your kids? How's your this? How's work? Like, how's whatever? Like, what have you been up to? You know, I saw your vacation. Talk to me about that. And you're asking them questions about themselves and saying nothing about yourself. When you walk out, they're like, that person is so great. They're so nice. They're so interesting. And they know
Yeah.
nothing about you.
Well, and so that's really interesting thought because if you think about that, then you also need to be thinking about, are you posting for you or are you posting for your ideal client or audience,
Yeah.
right? And because it's social media, guys, I mean, I think we all know like real estate is not that interesting, right? Like our lives are probably more interesting than real estate. The transactions, what's happening, you know, juggling things, those types of things are more interesting than like just, you know, the black and white of real estate. But keep that in mind because about 80% of what you're posting should be on something other than real estate, but
Mhm.
that you're somehow tying it back to real estate. And that goes for sales if you're attracting buyers and sellers or if you're attracting other agents. Because the reality is that we all want to work with people that we are interested in or who we want to create a relationship with. We're going to be spending a lot of time with one, these agents, or two, these buyers and sellers. So we want to make sure that we are putting out our best foot forward, but not for ourselves, for them.
Yeah.
What kind of content are you putting out? Not for you to make you feel good. It's not your personal diary,
Yeah.
right? Like that should be for your personal thing. Like this is your business page, and you can have personal on there because again, people want to be able to connect with you. And a lot of times people are going to connect with you on something that has nothing to do with real estate, which is a really beautiful thing. So you don't have to be constantly thinking about, well, how am I going to post about real estate today?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think another important thing that you said is the concept of having 3 to 5 brand pillars, right? And this is just, you know, and your brand is your personal brand. Because if you're putting yourself out there, you know, if we're talking about agent attraction, you need to be attractive to others, right? We talk about core values all the time and that sort of thing. What are you putting out there that resonates with people where they want to be in business with you? They want to either follow you or partner with you or be around you and that kind of stuff. So, you know, maybe sit down and think about what your brand pillars are, right? Write out what those are. There are all kinds of things that you can do on creating your brand pillars. We do some exercises on core values and what your business is all about. Think about it in terms, because right now we're talking about agent attraction. So think about it in terms of agent attraction. What are the pillars of your personal brand having to do with attracting other people to come to EXP? What do you want when they look at your social media? What do you want them to see about you? And then maybe take your social media page and hand your phone over to someone else or have them pull you up and go, great, go through this and pick out maybe what do you think my 3 to 5 brand pillars are? You can explain to, you know, if they don't know, explain to them what a brand pillar is. And, you know, but it's like, hey, what would you say I'm all about? And if they go, well, you're all about your dog, you know, like, okay, it's fine, you know, but it might be family, you know, like, well, there's a lot of pictures of your family and I see a lot of pictures of your business and I see a lot of pictures of whatever, like, okay, so pulling those all together, what are the key topics you're seeing on my page? Ask a couple of people and then compare that to what your brand pillars are and be, you know, and if it doesn't match or if there's some that are missing, then you need to just blend that into your schedule of posts so that your brand comes through and people see you the way you want to be seen.
Yeah, I love that. It's so good.
All right, so let's talk about reels. Let's talk about reels. What are the components of a reel? Like what kind of what is a reel? You know, there's videos, there's whatever. What is a reel and what are the components of it?
Yeah, so I can show you, or I can tell you, or I can tell you and then show you. But a reel is just a short-term video, right? So it's anywhere, and actually they've extended it, so now it can be up to 90 seconds. But the reality is that you only have the first like 2 to 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention. So if you're not doing something really interesting or sharing something really interesting, then make like something weird in the beginning that is gonna get them to want to keep watching beyond that. That's also why you want to have a hook, right? So it's kind of like anything else. You want to have a hook, a story, and then a call to action, right? Some sort of call to action at the end, telling them what you want them to do. We're the authorities in the industry. And I always tell my agents this when I'm coaching them on really anything, but especially with lead conversion. We are the authorities in our industry, right? Whether we're attracting other agents, that we still need to be the authority to show them how it's done, right? If you're doing a deal with another realtor and you can tell that they're new, don't get frustrated. Walk them through. Hey, listen, you know what? I'm not sure how familiar you are with this, but this is how I've found it to be really easy. And then walk them through everything, right? Make it easier for all of us. Then it's a learning experience for them. And now they're at some other brokerage, but they're like, well, my broker never taught me that. You taught me more in one transaction than I did with you. What's going on where you are?
Yeah.
Right? So there's all kinds of just little different things like that. But the social media is a good piece because again, they're going to be seeing what you're doing. And that's why I'll show you a couple of other accounts too, that are interesting to so that you can see how different people are doing it because we're not all going to do it the same. Not everybody's silly and they're going to post, their dog at the dog park. You guys, somebody said this at a networking event I was at for realtors, and they said, networking for realtors is like dogs. Like they're all just like sniffing butts. That's all it is. You're just sniffing butts until you find the one that you like, and then you hang out for a little bit, you talk a little bit, you play, whatever, and then you go on your way, right? So I took a video of my dog at the dog park, and I'm gonna make a reel about that. Why? Because it's maybe it's interesting, maybe it won't, but in the beginning you're not going to get a lot of interaction probably if you haven't been doing that. And just know that it's okay. It's only uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar and you're just getting started.
Yeah, that's great. All right. So if you want to create a reel, what's the best platform? Because you're talking about like the early days. Like it used to be, I had a Musically account, which became TikTok, right? Back in
Yeah.
the old days, my daughters were so proud of me that like when TikTok came out and everything got they were like, how do you already have an account? I was like, oh, I've had that for like 5 years. They thought it was very cool for like 5 minutes. So you have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, and I know with a lot of those, you can then have it automatically push to the other platforms and stuff. Where's the best place to start?
Wherever you're the most comfortable.
Okay.
That's where you start, right? And so for me, I'm more comfortable with Instagram. So I just have my Instagram syndicated or connected to my Facebook page.
Hmm.
And then anything I post on Facebook goes to Instagram. And if I post it on Instagram, it goes to Facebook. But I originate everything in the Instagram app because I find it more user friendly and I've just used it more. So I'm
Okay.
more comfortable with it.
Got it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about like the base of the reel. Are we do you are you recording video in advance, for the purpose of creating a reel? Are you ever doing it in the moment? Like how do you do that
I
typically?
love that. So I do it both ways depending on what I'm trying to do. If I'm doing a time lapse of something, like the other day, I was cleaning a listing out. I mean, guys, if you're still in production and maybe you're not doing this stuff, but sometimes I just go above and beyond for my clients and I end up, doing a full clean basically on this house because I was like, I can't take pictures with it looking like that. So I set up my camera. I was like, well, I'm not going to waste this opportunity. And I put it on time lapse.
Hmm.
So in that scenario, I just did it on my phone, right? Without an app, I just used, the video because the time lapse is super easy. And I can show you what it's like to upload that and how to do it from that. But then also a lot of times, if I'm going to do clips of something, then I'll go ahead and just open up the Instagram app and pull up the reel and just automatically start in the app and do it all there. And then sometimes I'll save it and post it later. But I do it all in the app because if you can do it all in one place, it just makes it so much more simple. And you can add all of the captions, the stickers, the music, everything right in Instagram. They made it super simple.
Okay. So, all right. So then I've seen some where, I mean, some of the ones where you create you can use just photos. You don't even have video. You could it's a carousel of photos with music, and you can do all the same editing stuff to it for a reel, and it still gets a little bit more play. So you can do photos. You could do a
Yep.
pre-recorded video. You could do the video that's there, and then you see some where whether it's a travel person or some other info, whatever it is, and they've got multiple videos all seamed together. Maybe it's and maybe it's someone, let's say they go to EXPCon and they want to share, here's my experience at EXPCon of all the cool stuff it was, because I want to put it out there so that other agents go, wow, your company looks so fun. And look at all the cool stuff you did. And everyone seems really happy, like that kind of stuff. So they put a bunch of that stuff together and they do that. So how does all that come together?
That's all done right in the app. It's probably videos that they either did while they were in the app, or if they recorded them pre, you can actually put it in. And it's all really easy.
Okay. So how long? How long should, whether it's a single video or a bunch of, what's best for length of video?
So I would keep it at 30 seconds or below, but
Okay.
you do have the ability to go to 90 seconds with Reels. And I believe Shorts is even 15 to 20 seconds. I don't know if they're even 30 on YouTube.
Okay.
But 30 seconds is kind of your max. I mean, unfortunately, our minds are not interested in that any longer unless it's like really, really interesting,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it just gets boring.
Got it. Okay. Cool. All right. So you've got whether you've got a pre-recorded or multiple pre-recorded, or you're going to do it right in the app there. You're
Yep.
pulling up You're pulling up, let's say Instagram. Well, let's focus on doing Instagram. If my phone will open here. Right. So I go into Instagram and you're hitting on the little plus down on the bottom, right?
Yep.
To create a
Maybe now's a
reel.
good time to do a screen share. Yeah. Here, let me do a little screen share here. Let's see if we can get this going. Can you guys see my phone?
No.
Okay, hold on. So you cannot see it.
Nope. Still see what's on your webcam. Just see you.
Oh man, see, this is what I was saying.
All
Here, let me do a screen share first and then try it.
right, try that.
Okay, you can see my messy screen right
Yeah,
now.
see. Oh, we see the
Okay.
problem.
Okay, don't judge me. All right, let's see if this does it. How about now?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, hallelujah. Okay. Technology is amazing, right?
Love
Okay, so if you are not driving, Lars, do not do this. I know you're driving. If you're not driving, go ahead and click on your Instagram app and pull it up. And then if you are automatically on this is just like a search thing. But click down here in this right-hand corner. Let's just start here first. Oh, actually, no, we'll just start right with the reels. So yes, you said the plus, click on the plus. And when you do that, that is going to open your screen up. And you can see down here at the bottom, it says post, story, reel, or live. Does everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So if we're going to do a post, we would just click on the post. We're actually going to do a reel. So I'm going to click on reel and it says continue editing your draft. And I'm going to say start anew. And then you can see that automatically my camera opens up, right? So now I have the opportunity to either choose my camera and create one right now. And if you see on this, we'll just kind of start with the very basics. On the bottom, I have a bunch of filters saved. I mean, look
Yeah.
how much better I look with that filter. Right? You can go and you can look at filters. If you are following somebody that you really like and they always, oops, hold on, let me put this on silent. Let me just find one really quick and show you this. If you find somebody that you follow and they have like a really great, well, she doesn't have one, but I'll show you how to get to a music. If you see down here, right here, this arrow, that arrow means that this sound that she's using is trending. So if I click that, it will show me other videos that are using that same trending audio.
Okay.
And if I want
What's
to,
important about trending audio? How does that impact your your reel and visibility?
the importance of the trending audio is that that's going to get you in front of more people based on them liking that audio. So it's automatically going to push you out into people that might not have seen you because the audio is popular, basically.
Okay.
We're a little out of order there, but if you see that and you click this little, oops, oh geez. If you click this little, like, I don't even know what you call
Bookmark.
that little thing.
Bookmark.
Yeah, the bookmark.
Yep.
If you bookmark that, you can save that for later in audio and I can show you how to find it later. But ultimately, that's how you do it. You would do the same and for I'm trying to, what I wanted to show you guys was how to find these at the bottom. But what you can do is if you're looking at somebody else's reel and you can tell that they have a filter on it, in the bottom, in the same place that you saw the music, there will also be the filter. And if you click on the filter, you can bookmark it and save it for later, and then it will show up here at the bottom, just like it is on mine. Okay. So if you don't add a filter and you just do it with a bare face, that's fine. You can always add a filter later. With this, all you have to do is click this button and it's automatically going to start recording. Okay. So I can stop there and then I can kind of change angles. And now I'm over here and now I'm like this and I'm at this. So when I click the next button right here, it's going to show you what I just did and it's automatically. Okay. So I can stop there and now I'm over here, this, and I'm at this. So that gives you that automatic like jump from clip to clip.
Ah.
So I didn't actually do anything. Now, another way to do that same thing though, if I check, I can undo just one piece of it and just go back one. If I click that undo, it'll say discard the last clip. I can discard just the last clip. Or I can go up to the very top and I can exit out of the whole thing and start over.
Okay.
And then you just
Okay.
multiple drafts. So like,
Are you guys still with me?
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. So now if I want to add video that I've already pre-recorded, then down here in this bottom left-hand corner, I'll click that. And then I'll pick a video. I'm going to use this one because the other night I was up doing a screen record of a property valuation because these Canadians were here and they wanted to know more and they were leaving the next day. So they needed this. Anyway, it was like 10:30 at night and I'm doing a screen record of a property valuation so that I could send it to them to see if I was going to get this listing. Right.
Yeah.
So it's not really that interesting, but I'm going to show you a couple things that we can do with this. So if I just touch the screen, it will stop. I want to show you two things right here. This is the speed. Now I hyperlapsed this video and I uploaded it. You guys saw me do that, right? But if I wanted to make it even faster, I could touch this and I could either slow it down or I could speed it up even faster. So that's what you can do with those there. Now, another thing is see this down here on the bottom, this scroll, and I can scroll this back and forth. If I see this little white line down here, if I flick this, or actually that's not it. I have to hit next first. I'm sorry. We're going to hit next first.
And you can trim that too, right? You have the trim.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but I had to go to the next screen first. So once you're on this screen and you see all of these things at the bottom, that's where we want to edit the video. And now if we click that same thing, let's say I personally like to choose a song first before I do video clips because when you choose the song first, then you can kind of do your clips at the beat of the song, if that makes sense. So let's choose a song first, and we do that by scrolling at the bottom. After unclicking that, we want to click add audio. And as you can see, it'll choose music that it automatically thinks I like. Then you also have the opportunity to look at trending. You have original audio and then the audio that you've saved, right? So you have for you, trending, original audio, and then saved. What I don't like about original audio is that sometimes for some reason, it will get taken off
Yeah.
and then your video has no sound. And you can add something, but then it doesn't always make sense. So I personally do not use the original audios because of that reason. So I start with For You. How do you know if it's trending on your For You page? You can see that by these arrows. So as long as there's an arrow there, then you know that that's a trending audio. And if I don't like any of these, I can click see more and it'll give me even more. Now, before I choose one, I can preview it by clicking on this part, like the actual picture of it. If I click that, it will start to play. And you just kind of listen to them until you find one you like. Or maybe I choose that one. So I click it all the way. I'm going to take it off though, because it'll be loud while we're trying to do this. Um, and that's annoying. But then you have your song. And then what you can do is when you're listening to the video and every time it hits, when you hit play, it's going to hit every time it hits a beat, I just hit pause. And then wherever that white line is right here is where it's going to split. And so I'll split it. Now, what does it mean for it to be split? It just means that now I have two videos instead of one. So what do I want? Why is that? Like, why would I want to do that? Because now what I can do is I can take this and clip it here. And so when I'm watching it, you probably won't be able to tell as much in a video like this because I'm just sitting at the desk, so I'm not moving around a lot. But a lot of times when you do that and you shorten this, it'll pop to a different part and it gives you that like quick switch to keep people interested.
Mm, that's awesome. All right. Yeah, I didn't know how that happened. So that's great.
Yep. And then you can also go back and actually add clips. So let's say I wanted to add this lizard that bit me at my listing. So maybe I have that there and I add this and now we're laughing because there's a lizard that bit me and it goes back to that, you know? So if you want to add a video, you can always add a clip into it also. Still with me?
Yeah.
All right. Then Instagram likes you to use their things, right? So if you want to use any kind of stickers, you can look things up. You can look up for sale. Things will pop up, and maybe you take a for sale sticker and you put it somewhere, you drag it wherever you want it, and then you can use two fingers on the screen to make it bigger or smaller. And then I realize, oh, wait, I don't want to talk about that. So I just grab it and drag it down to the trash can and throw it away. I don't want that one. Let me find a different one. Go back to the sticker. Ooh, I think there's some EXP ones. Let's see what we can find for EXP. And looks like some people have some EXP things that they've already created. A lot of them are just teams. We don't have a lot of EXP ones, which maybe we should create our own, right, guys?
There you go.
But here's a luxury one. So maybe I want to brand this for some reason. Then you could do that. Or again, if you don't like it, you can save it. Or let's leave this here for a minute and hit done. We decide we're going to use this. We can still move it around, right? But now I decide, you know what? I only want this at the end and I'm going to make it like really big. Like, yeah, I'm with the XP. So it's like an ending shot. How do I do that? Now I click it and click the edit video and you see the sticker is only in one spot. I'm going to put it at the very end of the video. Anywhere that it's highlighted, it's going to be there. But I just want it there for like the last 2 seconds, let's say. So now that sticker will only be right there.
All right. Show me how you did that again? Because I didn't catch how you got to that.
Okay. Yep, you got it.
I mean, I know you put the sticker on, but how did you get
Okay.
so it showed up on your options to then move it to the end of the video?
Perfect. Just see the edit video down here on the
Yep.
left.
Uh-huh.
Click the edit video. And then when it opens up, you see that the purple down here,
Yeah, so
that's
that'll
where
automatically be there when you go edit for any object you add on, like a sticker
will
like
always
that will be on
be
there.
down. Yep, it'll always be down in that area.
All right.
So,
Learn something
and
new.
then yep, and then when if you click it, then that's where you decide where you want to put it. If you want it on the whole video or just only a part of the video. Maybe we just only want to have it where that lizard is for some reason. Right? And then when you click on the screen again, then you can touch it again, and now it will show. Okay. Text overlay. if we want to add a word, this is where you want to use this down here, the text, for a hook. So what kind of hook would make somebody want to watch this video? And maybe it's we don't know. So here's what we're going to do. This is the little thing I wanted to show you guys. If you don't have ChatGPT on your phone yet, guys, wake up.
Hmm.
You gotta do this. You gotta add ChatGPT and you gotta pay for the one that's worth it. It's like 20 bucks a month. Just do it. There is a free version, but the new one. So I can say, hey ChatGPT, you always want to be nice. So I always say, hey ChatGPT. Sometimes I say good morning, good afternoon, whatever. I'm working, and the more information that you put in here about yourself, about your brand, about your business, about what you're trying to grow, about what you're trying to do, the better the responses is going to be for you. Okay. So when I'm like, oh crap, I have this video, I need to do this, but my brain is like, I don't know what to do. Because some of you, your excuse is you're not doing this because you don't know what to post or what to say. This is taking the guesswork out of it, but you do still need to use your brain a little bit, right? So I'll say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm working on a reel. And I'm working on a reel for Instagram to attract agents by showing them, let's just say, different ways to connect with their foreign sellers. I have a video and I'm going to tell them about the video I have. I have a video of me doing a screen record of property valuation. Can you give me 10 hooks for agents to make them want to watch more?
All right, cool. And in the second line, there's an edit. It says but I think it should say bye.
Oh,
Oh,
it might figure it out.
they'll figure it out. Yeah, it should get it.
Yeah. So, and now, and I always usually say hooky hooks, so that's why it says hooky hooks. But I love this because it'll give me 10 options and then I can use one, I can tweak one, or I can say, I don't like these, give me 10 more. Right? But now I have to put my agent hat on and what would an agent be interested in, right? Foreign sellers aren't ghosting you, you're not just speaking their language yet. Think your foreign seller isn't serious, think again, want more listings from abroad, stop skipping this step. So it gives you all kinds of different ideas. And this is important because this is what's going to determine whether or not somebody watches your video more.
Yeah, these are great.
So I would probably use this last one, working with foreign sellers. This is how I make them say yes. And so now I can either copy
Does
this.
anyone sit there and like agonize over creating the right hook and the right title and the right whatever? I mean, is it only me?
No, it's not only you, but that's why I
Right?
use
This is
ChatGPT, right?
great. This is great. I mean, it's awesome.
This was the part you didn't even know I was going to add in.
I think
Woohoo!
Grady
Okay.
has the best one. Lizard attacks realtor.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good. Maybe I'll use that actually. That would be really funny.
Yeah.
Actually, okay, before I keep moving, because you said that, let's also keep in mind that there's lots of different types of content, and there's the content that's more specific, you're going to get less interest on, probably. And you're not going to get as much interaction because it's very specific and you're probably not going to grow your following from it. But then you also have content like, oh my, like realtor gets attacked by lizard that is going to grow your following and grow the interest on your account, which is why it's important to have other stuff on there so that when they get to their page, they want to binge you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So you use something more general to get people in. Realtor gets attacked by lizard. That's hilarious. I'm totally using that. Thank you. And that will get people to my page, but then I've got to have other content that makes them want to stay. So working with foreign sellers, this is how I make them say yes. And now what I can do is, you guys have probably seen this. If you're looking right here, you have lots of different choices, right? And so if I click this first one, it gives me all the different kinds of
like
types of
all your fonts are on there.
fonts. Yes. What I would suggest is picking like 2 to 3 and sticking to those so that people, when people get to your story or to your page, they know that like that's the one, that's you.
Mhm.
Even if they don't see you in it, they'll just know that it's you. So I typically use not Halloween. I think I use this one a lot. And then you can choose the color from the color wheel. So if I tap the color wheel, I can use this pen or this dripper. If I click that, I can drag it anywhere and like use that color. Or I can just choose, whatever my colors are. And then if you click this, it will change that part of it. Like if it's behind blocked. And then if you use this, then it's either going to be left, right, or center, right? These two are new, so people they probably will like it if we use this, and it will give a shadow of some kind. And you can just kind of play with the ones that you like, right? And then if you click this one, it's either typewriter like this, or it'll be a pop, or you can jump, right? So you just decide what's going to be your vibe and then just try to kind of do that for all of them. Choose the same, 2 to 3 colors, choose the same two or three fonts, I would say. And just make sure that you're trying to use those. You're just going to kind of stay on brand when it comes to that. And actually, I don't think that's the one that I use, but literature is the one that I use because I like the block. Oh gosh, what is happening? I don't know.
It's floating.
That's too much. Okay, so there's that. So now I can drag this to the top and you'll see that, see on the left, that screen, if I put it over there, then it's a good chance that that's going to get caught off on some phones. If I put it above this, it's probably going to get cut off on some phones. So you always want to kind of stay right in between there. Now the other thing is if I click on this one more time, see this thing over here on the left? If I drag that up or down, it's going to make it bigger or smaller. What I like about that is if I decide I want this, then I can just kind of do it here and then drag it wherever I want.
Yeah, and the difference between, right, because you with that slider, that actually makes your font bigger or smaller, which will
Yes,
expand it into different lines. Because once you put it on there and you click off, off the screen, on the screen or whatever, and you're not doing that, then you can use your fingers and zoom in, pinch and zoom in and out on that box, and that box will become larger, smaller, but your font won't change. It won't change the shape. It won't move the words down to another line. It'll just change
that's right.
the same box. So you can two different ways to zoom in. One's actually increasing font size and potentially rolling them onto another line. So you can set it up so that the words are in the right place for you. And then once you do that, then you can zoom in or out on that format.
Yep, perfect. So then I'm going to hit done there. So that's there, but oops, that's on top of it. So we don't want those to overlap. And actually, it doesn't look like they're actually overlapping. So I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. So when I move it, it goes away and it's not overlapping anymore. Now, one other thing. Oh crap. Now I have this great reel and I have all of this done. I have the music. I chose everything. I have a sticker on there because Reels likes that. But now what am I going to say for my caption? Well, we're going back to ChatGPT, guys. And I'm going to tell it I chose option number 10. Oops. Can you help me with a witty um, caption? And then give it what you want. So if you're saying like, I really want to use this for agent attractions, like agents who are working with foreign buyers, then I would say I chose option 10. Can you help me with the caption to um, encourage engagement from agents working with foreign sellers? Make it fun and light, or whatever your tone is, right? And then just hit send. I mean, this is gold.
That's awesome.
Okay, I hope you guys like this. And you can make it longer, right? And they'll say want variations, with more emojis. Do you want it more serious? Do you want to change the tone? And you can say, hey, I like this, but can you give me another one? Or whatever you want. But for me, I'm looking at this, it knows me already. This exact screen I shared a confusion. Like, this is great. I would just literally copy this, go back to my
Yes.
reel.
Here's a fun, light, and witty caption to pair with hook number 10.
Oops.
Working with sellers overseas?
Why is it talking?
Before you jump into WhatsApp with a hello, my friend, try this first. This
Oh, I
is
must
the
have-
exact screen I shared
Oh,
to turn
gosh.
confusion into confidence and get those
What is-
foreign sellers yes across the globe. Because real estate is a language
Sorry,
we
guys.
can translate. Drop a global in the comments if you're ready to level up your international game. I'll send you a tip I swear by. Want a
Okay.
few variations or a version with emojis too?
Okay.
That's
So
for,
it gets a
for
little
those of
fun,
you
right?
that are driving, now you know what was on the screen.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. So now that it's there and I'm fine with this, and we'll say that I have my music, now I'm going to go to next and I'm literally just going to paste it. And just make sure though, when you copy and paste it the way I just did. Oh, it didn't actually paste it or copy it because I must have hit play instead. But anyway, you would copy and paste it here. And then what's beautiful about that, how do I get out of this?
Hey there.
Cancel.
I've got a
Okay.
There you go.
It's actually better to just copy and paste it this way. Otherwise, it'll copy and paste the whole thing. So copy it. I still don't believe if it copied it, but we'll try. Paste it there. Now it's there. And if I hit OK, now it's here. Now I don't have a cover on this. Are you guys putting covers on your reels, or would it be helpful to know how to do that?
Yeah, what is a cover? And because this is one of the things my daughter showed me, and they were like, "Why is this your picture for your reel?" And I'm like, "Because that's how my video starts." And they're like, "It doesn't have to."
Love that. Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do then is we're going to click edit cover, and you have some options here. You can either choose from a part in your video that you like, right? So maybe I want to start here because people will be like, what in the world? And then you go click profile grid, and that's how it's going to show up on your profile grid. And when you touch it, you can move it up or down. So it's ideally whatever you want it to look like. So there's that. Now you can choose that, and so now you see that that's what it would look like. Or you can click edit cover, and you see down here it says add from camera roll, and you can add from camera roll. Now, before I add from the camera roll, I am going to give you one more little hack here. I like Word Swag. It's free. You can use probably anything, but I've been using Word Swag since I was on an Android. And you just go to Instagram Grid, and it's connected to your photo library. And I'm just going to choose that picture. And now again, I mentioned brand colors and branding. Make sure that you're always using the same font here and the same filters and the same things. So I'm going to go ahead and go to color because I always use white on mine. Then I'm going to go down here to image and click image. And I'm going to click filter. And I always use the darkest filter. That's just what I do. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you that that's what I do. Then I'm going to go back to the text on the bottom left, and I'm going to scroll over to, and you guys will play with this and find the ones that you like. I know which one I like and which one I use, so I'm just going to go and stick to that. Scroll all the way over here. There it is, Mr. Newman. I like him. And then when you double tap the screen, it opens up. Now we know that our, we'll just say realtor, what was it? Realtor gets attacked by.
Yeah, lizard attacks realtor, or
Yeah, there you go. Lizard attacks realtor.
I think that's what Grady had.
Lizard attacks realtor. Now this is different, but you guys are getting the point. Update text, and it's there. Now, if you see this dice right here, and then there's all these numbers, you can keep hitting the dice and it'll kind of change it a little bit each time. And then if I like this one, and I'm just going to put it here, and then again, you can use the grid to make sure it's centered. And be careful because if it's too big, like these are kind of narrow and it will get cut off. So keep it in the center, or at least, here or here, but definitely always in the center. That's covering my face. I don't care. You might not want it there, but you can keep changing it until you find the one you like. Go back to that square one, maybe. Okay, and I'll keep that there. And then I'm just going to go up to the top and hit save. Now it's automatically going to be in my photos. And as you see, when I open it back up, it comes back to that screen. I can choose that. And now when I look at the profile grid, oh, perfect. It's right in the middle and nothing's cut off. Now I can hit done. So I have my cover, I have my tactics. Now I can tag people. You always want to add a location, guys. Always add a location. Even if it's just like your area, it will show it to other people in your community. And then when it comes to hashtags, you want to use, 3 to 5 that are very specific, and then another, 2 to 3 that are very general too. So like, EXP Realty, or, whatever it is that you're trying to use based on what your reel is about, because that's what's going to kind of help people find you from the explore page. And then you just hit share. Now, the biggest thing is to make sure that you are engaging before and after you do the post. When I engage before and after, I get so much more interaction than if I just post and ghost. You'll get more views that way. You can then share it to your stories. You can share it to other people. You can comment in below. If you do the post, oh, that's one thing I should probably show you. If you do the post, I'm going to go back to the screen share one more time. If you do the post and you're like, oh crap, I forgot to put a video or a picture here, like oh my gosh, a cover photo. I'm gonna go, let me hit save draft. And I want to show you guys this real quick. So if I go to mine and I'm like, oh crap, I like for this one, for instance, I did this video on my dog. Oops. I didn't put a cover photo. So if I want to change that, which I should, then I would go to manage and then edit. And then you can see I have the opportunity to choose cover. I can tag people here. You can't change or edit the actual reel, but you can change the cover. So if I come down to maybe I want to use this one, and then I hit profile grid to make sure we're, nice and cute and centered, and hit done, and then done again, and that would automatically. Now I'm not going to do that now because that's not the one I want to use, but that's how you would do it if you needed to.
Awesome. There's a question on here about the cover. Do you always want to do a cover? Are there times that you would not do a cover? Does it make a difference?
Well, ideally, it helps if you do the cover. And here's the reason for the cover. Like you can see that I didn't do one down here, and I didn't do one here yet because I just got lazy and I was at the dog park and I wanted to post it right away. But what I like about having the covers is, one, it gives it a little bit of uniformity. And two, it gives it, when people come to your quote unquote store page, it gives them a way to kind of look at your content and say, ooh, I want to know more about this. Oh, frustrated with struggle with routines and habits. Don't be. Well, I want to click on watch that more.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this would be considered a talking head, right? A lot of times for me, I don't get as much views on my talking heads, but everybody's different, and you're gonna train your audience to what they want. So you have to decide what kind of content you enjoy doing and then just do that. But it's good to mix it up too.
Okay.
But you can see on this one, I used a trending audio behind me speaking. I still used, the captions there. And I did actually use a filter on this one, but it's not showing. Otherwise, I would show you how to do that too. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is perfect. When I clicked on the bottom, it opened up more. Now you can see the song that I chose.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the filter. And so if I were to click on the filter, then I could go ahead and click on the bookmark at the top and save it. And then it would be on the bottom of my reel so that I could use it all the time. And again, if I wanted to save this audio to use it again later, I could start a new one right from here, or I could bookmark it and use it later. And sometimes what I'll do is if I'm like, ooh, I like this, I'll scroll through and look at some of the other videos that people did. I don't know what this audio is, you guys, but it's bizarre.
These are not
but
Kristine's videos. They're other people's
they're not my videos.
videos.
But it's fun to kind of look at other ones that other people did using that sound. That way you can get other ideas from other people. The reality is that, yeah, some of this stuff is maybe mine or theirs or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're all here just like trying to figure it out. And my content, if you see anything that I do and you want to rip it off, like rip it off. It's not a rip off to me. It's still you. Even if we all did the exact same reel, if I went to ChatGPT and said, okay, hey, can you give me a real idea for realtors trying to attract agents? Make it general. And then I shared it with you guys. We could all do this exact same one and it would be ultimately completely different in the end. So don't be afraid to rip off someone else or to use a sound, and even to take the screen text of someone else and put it on your video. Like everything is up for grabs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you like the way something was worded, use it.
Or put it into ChatGPT and say, please optimize this. So to sound more like me. So now you're not going to use your brain, but I would encourage you to still use your brain, but I'm giving you guys these other tricks and tips because sometimes the brain is just like, ugh, I know I need to post this, but I don't know what to say. And it's nice to have something to kind of help you and guide you with that.
Absolutely. And I know I saw Grady, I think he made a great suggestion. Something that we can share with each other is, all of these different tools like the word swag and everything else, all the different types of tools that everyone's using. Let's put those in, our workplace chat and that kind of stuff so that we're sharing with each other all of the different cool social media tools and apps and that kind of stuff. That way people can go, hey, like, here's what I use for this. Here's what I use for this. Here's what I use for this. Everyone. So if you guys are doing stuff, I know Anna does a bunch of stuff as well on socials. A bunch of you are doing stuff on socials. If you have tools that you use, don't keep it secret. You may just go, I don't know, someone else told me about it. Like I didn't create it. So who cares? If you're using something that works for you, share it, because we might go, man, I haven't tried that one. I look at it and go, oh my gosh, I've been using that one, but that's way better. Or I've just been doing it myself and going through creating these things. And that does a really nice job. That's awesome. So don't be shy. Share your stuff. If you have one app that works for you or one tool that's working for you, share the one tool. If you have a bunch of them, share a bunch of them.
I love that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. We all get better. We all get better together that way. And yeah, it's funny. I had WordSwag on my phone, and I guess I hadn't used it in a while because they switched to paid version.
So they do, and they try and get you to pay for it, but you don't have to.
All right. So how do you not pay for it? Because I pulled it up and it was like, you can start a free trial.
I'll show you.
Okay.
I'll share my screen again.
Because they show the one that I've got says you can get 50% off forever. So from $19.99 to $9.99. If you turn on Pro only, then it goes to $4.99 a month.
Or they're trying to get
you.
They do it to me all the time. And I'm like, I'm not paying for this. I've had it for all these years on my Android for free. I'm not paying for it now. Yeah. Okay. So when I open it up, it's not always there. Because it only does it like every few times. But if it is there, like there's a little tiny X box in it, Dave.
I saw something that said restore subscription.
No, it's not you know what? Can you do your screen share? Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Okay, here, I'm going to show you really quick how to do it.
I clicked on it. I don't know what I just did. I may have
I
just paid for it again.
I just downloaded the app and I saw the exact same screen that Dave was talking about. And if you go like to the top right-hand corner, there's X, like a gray X, and you can just click that and it goes away.
That's exactly right.
There you go. All right, well,
but they don't make it easy to see.
Hopefully I'm not paying for it.
Yeah, I don't pay for it. There's plenty of options without paying for it. There's no reason to pay for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Jen. Good job. There you go. I just had to look closer. Perfect. All right. Well, guys, hopefully this is helpful to you. I've seen some really good comments in there already. So, Kristine, thank you for sharing your expertise with us and all this fun stuff. We are going to be doing more social training. So on lots of different things we can do. Obviously, you can use them for both increasing your sales and increasing your agent attraction. We're going to be focusing in these classes on on the agent attraction side of this, but all the different things. So we'll be doing more of these. If you have some specific topics that you would really love to hear more on, make sure you're sending that, put it in Workplace, send it over to Kristen, send it to Christine, and reach out to her and let her know what you loved and what you'd love to see more of and all that fun stuff. And I know we've got some other folks in the group that also do some fun stuff on socials. So we'll get you guys involved too. We would love to if you're open to it. We'd love to have everybody who's got some extra expertise bring that expertise in, and we'll all learn from each other, which is great. Kristine, thank you again. We appreciate it. This was awesome. I mean, I got a page of notes from everything, and I feel like I'm not too dumb on these things, and I learned a whole bunch. So that was super fun. Guys, have an amazing Fire Friday. We hope you have a blessed weekend. We appreciate you, and we will see you at the next one.
Awesome. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thank you, guys.